Yeah, and it took a while for me to tell my story. It's so much to my
It does.
story. It's so many layers to my story, and it's
Oh,
just
yeah. All right. Welcome to another episode of Wisdom on the Front Porch. And today we have Melia here. I am so glad you're here. She's just beautiful. Oh,
yes,
I
thank
shouldn't just
you.
say that personally about you, but whatever
Thank you.
comes out of my mouth, what you see is what you get.
Listen, authentic is key.
That's
Authentic
right.
is
That's
key.
right. I've got all my toys and everything there. Whoa. Been trying to do some rearranging here. So, tell us just a little bit about yourself, maybe just about 10 words or so. What do you do?
Okay, I am originally a chef. I'm a pastry chef. Been doing pastries now over 8 years. I've been in my business for 6 years and just turned the new leaf to be a coaching for the youth. My new company, Against All Odds, to where as though I'm working with the youth with mental health awareness. So that's pretty much sums up what I do now.
That's cool. Oh, a baker. I love that. I love to bake. And it's
Yeah.
funny. People say you're either a good baker or you're a good chef. They're hardly ever the same. And it's like, I can bake. My husband's the chef, so we get along great.
Great. There you go. There you go.
So, do you take your baking and put it with your coaching?
Yes. So if I do have events, or if somebody need like a fundraiser, yes, I do bake like cookies or cupcakes, like easy grab stuff to be able to
Yeah.
be available at the events.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a lot easier because people like that. They like just having something they can take with them. So, against all odds, how did you come up with that?
So I created Against All Odds about 3 years ago. And I was like, I said, kind of spoke it to existence because I said, okay, God, I want to do a nonprofit. And that was 3 years ago. And then when I did it, it was like, okay, I don't have a name. And then I was driving, and one day it came to me, it was like Against All Odds. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna do Against All Odds. And then fast forward, I brought it to life this year. So I was like, you know what? That vision I had 3 years ago, maybe it wasn't time yet.
Yeah.
So let's bring it to life now. And Against All Odds, it's all about teens that are going through things, who's been through, things in life that they were told they couldn't do something, right? Or they was told that they couldn't accomplish this because they did X, Y, and Z. And I'm here to tell them as their coach, like, no, you can do it. You can get it done because I was a teenage mom. And I just imagine being a teen mom is like, oh my gosh, she's not going to
Yeah.
do this, she's not going to do that. And I had to prove them wrong. Like, yes, I am. My son was at my graduation. He was at my prom, and
Nice.
I got my diploma. And fast forward, my son is about to go off to college. I am a multiple
Wow.
business owner, so it's like against all the odds that were against me, I
Yeah.
defeated them. So that's my purpose now, to show other teenagers and adults too that no matter what you're facing, you're going to get through it.
Yeah, that's really good. I've got a little sticker on my laptop right here. And the first thing it says is success is something you are right now. That's by
Yeah.
John Maxwell. And we need to remember that. And you're thinking, how can I be a success? I'm not doing anything. It's like, well, you're here right now. That's a big success in itself. The other
Right.
one says you already have a 100% success rate by Steve Harvey. Going along with what you're saying, you already beat all those other odds that have happened before. You're here right now. So that makes you a 100% success rate. So keeping those in mind, it's like, okay, yes, I'm here. That means I can keep doing more. And I love that you're doing it. You're working with teens. So many times they're either doing the comparison thing, I'm not as good as this person, I'm not as good as that, they're so much better than me, or they're doing the I'm never going to get it, I'm never going to be anybody, I'm never going to matter,
Right.
I'm never going to be enough. And those are all the horrible things that are nothing but lies, you know.
Yes.
And it's lies we end up telling ourselves that maybe they came from one thing that happened a long time ago. And it's like, don't believe it. Don't be listening to that. So I love that you're working with teens. I've got a single mom. She wasn't a teen, but when she was first she's probably going to be upset at me saying this, but one of the things she said not too long after she had her baby, well, I guess the only thing I'm ever going to be good at, or the only job I can ever get, is being a waitress. And I'm like, what?
What?
Because,
Right.
yeah, single moms, they can only be waitresses because somebody had said that to her. And I'm like, no,
Oh, you
don't you believe that? And there's nothing wrong with women who are
right.
waitresses that are single moms. I am proud of you for doing what you're doing. It's hard to do. I could never be a waitress. I tried. Lasted 3 days. That was the most I could do. So yeah. So I'm really nice to waitresses, unless the only time I was never nice to a waitress, I was still nice to her, but I did not leave her a tip, is she came over, asked what she wanted, then she went over and kept flirting with the guys. There was only us and those three guys in the restaurant. She spent all her time there. I'm sorry, I don't care who you are. If you're going to
Got it.
ignore us
Yep.
because you're flirting, you're not getting a tip from me. Um,
Absolutely.
yeah, but it was surprising to hear her say that. So yeah, we had to do some perspective on
Yeah.
things. And I love that you do that. You bring a perspective in, because sometimes we're so caught up in what we're hearing, what we're seeing in our future, and we just can't do it. Why can't we see that future? Or we see that future and it's like, there's these walls, barricades, anything you can think of that says, no, you're not going to get there. And it's
Right.
like, they're just invisible.
Yep.
Get rid of them.
And I
Yeah.
tell people that's what you got to just get rid of the negative thinking. Also, I like to call it stinking thinking. You got to
Yeah.
get
I
rid
love that.
Yeah, you got to get rid of it because that will stop you.
Yeah.
That's the easiest way to get discouraged.
Yeah. Even at my age,
Yeah.
I still find I've got some stinking thinking in there. And it's like, where did that come from? And sometimes you have to go back and say, well, where did it come from? Where did I hear that? And if I
Right.
can't even think of where I heard it from, it's like, why are you thinking that? Get it
Yeah.
out of there. Yeah.
Mhm. Absolutely.
Yeah. So that's great. So how did you get in? I mean, I love your desire, your passion that you had for that. So how did you actually get into doing that?
So I lost my grandfather now is 2 years ago.
Mm,
And when he started his hospice journey, I was with him from the beginning of the journey to the end of the journey. And
yeah.
I never forget, he was doing good in the very first 3 months of it. And then once he did that turn, it was just like I was by his side every day, taking my laptop. And I was setting goals as I'm sitting. I'm like, all right, granddad, today I'm doing X, Y, and Z. This is what I want to accomplish for 2024. I mean, 2023. This is what I'm going to get done. And I would just every day I would pack up my laptop, get his lunch,
Nice.
go sit next to him. But then when he stopped eating, I still was packing up my laptop, going to just sit by his bedside or taking
Yeah.
my kids to sit by his bedside. And I kept saying, I have to come up with some type of service outside of me just being known for that pastry chef. I need to serve my community. And
Wow.
thinking of against all odds and then thinking of the teens and then me having teenagers is like, I have to get it rolling. And then when 2023, came, I was already in that darkest spot of my life because my granddad passed away
Yeah.
in November
I'm sorry.
22. Thank you. And as that year went, 2023 was very rough for me. And I was like, I got to find something that's going to get me out of it. And I was like, you know what? That's what I said. I want to do service. How can I help people go through I'm big on
Mhm.
I want to provide something for somebody. It's either I'm using, so if it's a product, I want to make sure I'm using that product that I'm providing. If
Yeah.
it's a service, I want to make sure that I'm utilizing what it is in that service. And me being that team mom telling me what I couldn't do and what I might not be able to accomplish, me going through that darkest hour of getting through that mental stage and finding self-care and self-love and everything. Fast
Wow.
forward to now, I have that vision, against all odds and going out to talk to people. And, I shared on the stage a couple of months ago with how do you get through a spiritual storm? And, I feel like now I found my vision, I found my purpose, and I'm ready to take full throttle with it. And ever since
Awesome.
I spoke, so many people like, I want you on my podcast. I need to talk to you. What is it? How did you get there? How are you doing this? And I'm just like, okay, God, I'm going to do your work, but how can like help me get through the work? Because I don't write nothing. I don't practice nothing. I just speak from the heart of what I either experienced or what I know other people experience, and what I'm trying to do help those people that are experiencing the things they're going through.
Yeah. And that's really important because they want to know that you've been there. Because
Yes,
I've never been a teen mom, so I could not give advice. I mean, I could give advice, but are they going to listen? No, because I didn't go through it. You
right.
went through it and you have the feelings of what you were going through. You know the hardships you had during that time, and
Yes,
they want to relate to you that way. And it's great that you're taking something that was really tough for you to go through, and you say, I've got all of this. I have been through this. I can just leave it behind, throw it away, do whatever. I can take it and really help others get through it and help them get to where they're going. And I love that you chose that to do, to
yes,
just share with others.
yes,
Reading a book by Jim Rohn talking about when you have something and you share it with others, you expand, you get more. And it's so true. When we hide all these things inside of us that maybe we're ashamed, we're embarrassed. I don't want anybody to know that about me. And it's like, but you're not doing something that is going to bring you great joy, give you more in your life, because now
right.
you're able to give that to somebody else. And that's an amazing gift.
Yeah, and it took a while for me to tell my story. It's so much to my
It does.
story. It's so many layers to my story, and it's
Oh,
just like
yeah.
one layer at a time. And I feel like now this is the layer that I really want to focus on the most, because this generation is really going through a massive turmoil, especially
Oh,
when it
yeah.
it's the mental health that is really taking a big toll on every city. It's not even just my city, not your
It's
city.
it's all over the world too. It's not just one area.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I feel like, okay, I found my purpose. This is what I want to do. I want to talk to people. I just got my mental health first aider certification. So now I am
Nice.
certified to actually take on clients now and
Congratulations.
people now. Thank you. And I'm excited to put that to use. So it's
Oh,
like
yeah.
I'm working.
Yeah, that's awesome. And you'd said earlier that you're not a writer, and you don't have to be. There are ghost writers. That's what they do. You talk to them, you tell them your story. If you've got journals that you've written in, you can give them to them and they can make this amazing book for you. I was a writer and publisher myself. It's like you don't have to. We're here to guide you, we're here to help you along, to help you know, and maybe it's just not quite time for you to. But the one thing great about having your books are now like business cards. And what they do is they give people an insight to who you are, to are you really authentic like you say you are? Did you really
Yes,
go through this? Did you do things? Plus, as you're doing it, you're also giving those things that are of value to other people to help them through that. And
absolutely.
so, yeah, so don't anybody that's listening to, don't ever discount yourself that you're not a writer. You don't have to be.
And I have a
What
great
we're here
surprise,
for.
because when I talked to you then, I wasn't a writer, but surprise, I am a writer now. I have
Awesome.
my book. I
Yeah,
have my
right in front of you.
first
There you go.
journal. I created
Oh,
my first
that is so
journal,
beautiful.
self-love 31-day devotional journal. So it is now on Amazon,
Awesome.
and it's an ebook. So I'm proud of myself. I published
Oh,
my
you
first
should
journal.
be. Yeah.
And I took heed to everybody kept saying, your book is your business card. They're not going to throw away a book they purchased, but they'll throw away that business card. And I'm like,
Oh,
you know
yeah.
what? Right. So I created a journal that's going to not just be a business card for me, but it's going to help somebody. How many times
Yeah.
we do self-love and self-care, and
So
and
give
this
us some insights to your journal. I know I'm
yeah.
interrupting you, but it's like I want to see what's in there.
So that I could go to day 15.
Okay.
I'm gonna
Oh,
take
nice.
my
There
background
you go.
off.
Beautiful background too, by the way. But yeah, I know the virtual backgrounds are tough. That's why I'm here.
Take it. If I could remember how to, hold on. Let's see. All right. I don't know. It should no. Let's
No,
see what
no, Blair. It's just got to be none.
trying to figure out why. Hold
So while
on.
she's figuring that out, for those who are looking and can see the
There we go.
video, do you see this animal? That is the inspiration for Goat the reindeer. And too
There
many
you go.
people said, "Oh, it looks like a goat, not a reindeer." Whoops,
Oh, wow.
I gave
There you
out
go.
part of the
So
name.
this is what it
Look at
looks
that.
like. Day 15, I'll share one page with y'all. And how it starts is so I start off with a scripture to get them whatever that day is. So let's do day 15. Be kind and compassionate to one another, forgiving each other, just as in Christ God forgave you. And then right after that, I give a reflection question, something for you to sit down and think about. Okay, so this would be more centered for if you do 30-minute self-development, or if you do self-development, this would be the time to say, you know what, I got this journal. Let me sit down and do it. So for day 15, question is, where do I need to show myself forgiveness today, just as God has forgiven me? And that
Oh,
question,
wow.
like, and these questions are not meant to be like, I'm just going to answer this. No, these questions are meant to like, let's dig deep into this.
Yep.
Let's dig
Yeah.
deep into ourselves, because we don't give ourselves enough credit. We don't
No.
give ourselves enough attention, because we, as mothers, we are trying to nourish our kids. We're trying
Yep.
to take care of the house. We're working a job. We're, for the entrepreneur ones, we're running multiple businesses, and we never take the time to give us the self-love, the self-care. So, and then after the question, and
I'm going to Amazon right now while you're talking. What was
yes,
the
you can
name of
type
it
in
again?
self-love journal, 31-day devotional. And then I end it with, once you sit there and think about it, I give you a quote. This is how you're going to end it. Forgiveness liberates the soul. So when you think about that, if you forgive yourself, and it's times that we do things that we don't want to forgive ourselves, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Great.
yes,
For those that didn't get to see the whole book, that is
yes,
beautiful. Oh, with those
thank
hearts
you.
and the rose. That is
Yes.
gorgeous.
Yes, thank you so much. Yes, I took the time out and, prayed on it. I didn't know what it was
Mm.
that I, needed to do. And it came amongst me as like a journal. And I was like, okay, so the fun fact about the journal is it started off as this thin, flimsy little book. And I was like, so when it came, I was like, no, and I was asleep. And I'm big on hearing God talk to me in ways that He don't talk to me. And He was like, "Do that journal again." And I'm like, "Okay, let me get up and do the journal again." So it went from being thin and flimsy to nice and thick, picture
Nice. Oh,
pages,
easy to carry,
questions.
easy to stick in a pocketbook.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
And I do have the ebook version as well, that if you want to reprint it over and over and over again, you could do
Oh,
that as well,
yeah.
right? But
Yeah.
I did that to inspire other people that lack what I lack. I don't take time for self-care. I
Yes.
don't.
I just started. I actually take Wednesdays off.
Okay.
Wednesdays are my day. And I've been putting stuff in there, and it's like, no, this is your day to do what you need to do. Clean the house, really deep clean it. Go outside in the yard. Go
Let me
take
take
your
what I
kayak
wrote.
and go sit on the lake. It's 3 miles from you. When's the last time you've been out there? So yeah, and it makes
I'm
a
putting that
huge
down as a note
difference.
to me. Pick a day for self-care. Listen, I'm taking your advice as well. Pick a day
There you go.
for self-care. Yes.
Yeah, because on the weekends, you've got your kids, they're home from school, you've got your husband, he's home from work, whatever it is, you've got that going on. For those that go to church on Sundays, you've got Sunday and Sunday activities, and Saturdays, if you've got kids, you've got sports and all kinds of stuff. So you can't always take the weekends for yourself. Maybe even just set it so you get 4 hours that is just you, absolutely nothing else, just whatever you want to do, to sleep, to sit, whatever it is, you know.
Listen, I wrote that down on my sticky note. Self-care day. Pick a day. I'm picking my day. So I must look at my calendar.
I got a
Let's
whole pack of
keep all
sticky
sticky
notes. They are always here.
notes. Yeah,
I
sticky
love
notes
it.
all day. So pick a day for my self-care. Y'all hear me? Pick a day,
Nice.
or one day, and shut it down and take care of yourself is important.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So important. And even, the one thing I learned as my kids were growing up and trying to, study, what do they need? How can I support them? What can I do? One thing I learned was that teenagers actually require more sleep than babies do. Not because they're bigger, but they have a lot more growing that's going on. Not only are they physically growing, their brains growing just like babies do, but now they have all of the emotions going on inside, all of the hormones going on inside,
Yeah.
everything else that's going there. So sorry, teenagers, but you need naps because they go early in the morning, late at night. They've got all these activities and stuff going on, and they're just tired. And sleep is the one time when your body has time to regenerate itself, time to grow. That's why you heal better when you get more rest, because that is your body working to make you better, to keep you going, to give you the energy and stuff that you need. And
Yes.
that really surprised me because usually you're thinking, oh, teenagers, they don't need any sleep. They just need, a refrigerator and a freezer full of food.
No, they need the body to develop even more, so they got to
Yeah.
get rest.
Yeah. And so, yeah, give them a little self care. If they're tired after school, go let them take a nap. You know,
Yes.
they don't have to do, whoops, I shouldn't say this, but they don't have to do schoolwork right after school.
Yep.
Give them an
And
hour or so.
I agree. Let them come in
Yeah.
and debrief. They've been in
Yeah.
school all day, and I also find it
Yeah.
important too. We're in different times now, and sometimes it's okay. At least I tell people now, and I'm starting to try to do with my kids is let your child, especially teenagers, let them have a mental health day.
Oh,
One day
great
a
idea.
month, because it's so different now. They're going through so much. You got the social media, this, and you got this
Oh,
going on.
yeah.
Some kids are losing their friends, and kids are going to more funerals than us adults, and our
Isn't
kids
that
are
crazy?
experiencing so much. And it's like, but we keep saying, all right, go to school, go to school. But if they're experiencing the things that I just named, how are they going to get through a productive day? You
Oh,
know,
yeah. Yeah.
so, and some people, we don't know their household, and that's their way of getting out the house is to go to school. And this is another reason why I created the program Against All Odds as well, because you never know a child's household to where
Mhm.
so now I want to be that outlet as a mental health awareness first
Yeah.
aider that y'all can call my line and say, hey, I feel like X, Y, and Z in my house. Do you have any numbers that I can call to help me get the help? Because I can't medicate them. I can't give them the
Yeah.
service, but
Right.
I do have the resources and I could give them some type of advice or some type of upliftingness and try to get them going. So it's either
Nice.
to be available to contact me, or if your child is going through something, at home, I'm the outlet for them to say, hey, this is my number, call me, I'll give you the resources. Or if it's vice versa, your child experienced a death from their friend, let your child have a mental day. Stop saying that your
No,
kid is okay. We don't know if our kid is okay. We can't
no, you don't.
assume we can't assume it just because they're teenagers. They're going through things too,
Yeah.
and that's why I say parents play a big role. Us parents plays a big role in our kids. I don't care how old they're going to get. My son's going to go to college, and he's about to like hear the when he's away, he's going to get text message. Hey son, how was your day? What's going on? You good? How was your? I'm still going to be that mom, and be like, how was your day today? So what did you
Oh,
do?
yeah.
Because that right there plays a role in their mental too.
Yeah.
So it's definitely something. Sleep, like you said, a mental health day. They need it too.
Yeah. That's really good. You're talking about, no matter how old your kids are, my I didn't even think much about it. Every once in a while, I'd send a Bible verse or I'd send a word of encouragement. It's like, wow, this just really impacted me. And I just get the feeling I need to tell you about it. And one day my daughter told me, she goes, I really hate it that you're always sending me all these verses. And she goes, no, I hated it, but I am so glad you did because now I look forward to them because they helped me get along through they always came at the right time and they
Yeah.
helped me get through what I was going through. And it wasn't until I realized that you were encouraging me, that you weren't doing it just because your mom,
Yeah,
but
right. And that's what I do
but
to
it
my
was like,
daughter. I tell her
wow,
the things.
if I
Yeah.
hadn't listened to that little voice, that always talk us old people say that little voice, but it's just that urging when you're reading something, it's like you really need to share it with your daughter or your son or a friend or whatever. And every time I am obedient to that urging,
Hmm.
it's always been for good. My friend the other day, I sent her something, and she's like, "Boy, that came at the right time." I'm like, "Oh, okay." just
Yeah.
randomly said or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't believe in random or coincidence. I
Nope.
really don't.
I don't
Not
either.
at this
Everything is
age.
on
I've
time for
seen too
me.
much. Yeah. Yeah.
Everything is on time.
Yeah. And I love the way you're going at this as an entrepreneur. You've already brought so many things that we need to do as entrepreneurs is self-care, is go for what we're thinking of. It's like, yes, we do have this, that maybe the timing's not right, so we'll do it later. And when you have something, like you have your journal, and it's like, well, this is nice, I've got it done, but something's not right here. And you redid it, and now you've got this other thing that's just really great. So it's okay to do a little redo, to look at something. My journal, when I did it, it was thick, big, white, cool geometric design on it. But now it's this thin little book. I mean, it's still kind of big because I want you to have lots of room, and I don't want you to feel like you have to write super
Right,
tiny
right.
on it. Um, but it's great. Do I have one? I keep, they just don't last. They go so fast. Well, I guess I don't, I got to order some more. But but yeah, it's great when you have something and you just keep doing it and refining it until it's better. And at one point, it's like, okay, this is it. I haven't redone it in over a year, so this is
Oh,
it. It's at
wow.
the point. I think the only thing I might do is get those double spirals so it opens up flat. That would
Yeah.
probably be the only change I would do.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
finally found a place to do that. But
There you go.
anyways, so
Yes.
I love this. So do you go into the schools? How do kids find you? How do adults, how do parents find you?
So right now, I have been to a couple of schools. I did talk to one school earlier this year. I
Good.
did get on the stage and talk to a group of women. Currently, I just been getting on social media more, just posting my flyer or
Nice.
I said starting after the holidays because I know they're about to go on like winter breaks and everything. When they come back from winter break, my goal is, and I have it on my whiteboard to start reaching out to schools to talk to like the
Good.
counselor, like, hey, I am X, Y, and Z looking to come talk to the kids about this, especially the kids that are some middle schoolers, and then if I can be able to speak to the 12th graders that are about to go into the the real world. So
Yeah,
that's my goal, reach out to them that way. I'm connected to a lot of people that knows about my services. Um,
that's
and
great.
I decided to create me a webinar. So I'm going to do my first webinar talking
Great.
about mental health to be able to get more exposure to other people. Like I put it on Eventbrite so they could register. I don't know who's going to be on there, right? I looked at my Eventbrite ticket and was like, oh my gosh, I don't even know who this person is. I don't know. Okay, so I got some people that I don't know. So I got to bring the A game on my webinar talking about mental health and everything. So it's like I'm just trying to find different avenues on how to get out there and do that. And what I said was when I go on that journey of reaching out to the schools, I want it to be called my self-love tour
Yes.
workshop
Oh, I
for the
love
kids.
that. Yeah.
I am currently working on the self-love devotional journal for teenagers now. See, this is going to be for everybody, but I want my next journal to be target for the teens because, like I said, they're the ones suffering with mental health. So
Yes.
that's how I
Yes.
go about reaching out to the schools and summertime is coming up. So I'm trying to be at like camps and stuff like
Oh,
that,
good
college.
idea. Yeah.
So I just want to like get a workshop going. And when I do that webinar, the first 10 people that signs up, they get a discount on the one-on-one services that I'm going to offer and stuff like
Cool.
that. So I'm just praying on it. Like never in a million years, I thought I would publish my first journal and it's doing good. And I was nervous when I did. I was like, I don't know if anybody gonna want to buy this. But then when I go back and check my Amazon, I'm like, people are buying it. Like that's why when I got on here with you, I was like, I have a surprise for you because last time when you first spoke to me, I was like, oh, I don't write. I don't do
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
And now look at me. I am an author. I'm
Yeah.
shooting for
There you are.
yes, I'm shooting for that bestseller on Amazon. I'm praying on it that I get up there. I'm just blessed and just asking God to continue to just like give me the visions because without his visions is no plan. And I know
Yeah.
that giving me the vision, he's going to get me through it.
Yeah.
Right. Then
Right. Right.
I'm asking him to continue to order my steps and keep me focused because I can say I do self-sabotage myself sometimes.
Oh,
And
we do, don't we?
yeah, and and it's kind of hard, but I told myself enough of that, and I'm just going to keep going. So
Good.
that's how I'm getting into them schools. I'm going to get into these schools, and my next goal is to start locally, but I'm ready to get on planes and go talk to other people in the schools and hit other stages in other states. So I'm thinking big. Everybody say you want no small mind. I'm
No,
thinking
no,
big. I'm
go
trying to
big.
travel with this self-love tour going on tour like across the states, not just in Philadelphia.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, that's really great. Oh, I like that. I'm just listening to you and you're just going after one thing or another, going after something else and you're not letting anything stop you and that's really great. You just keep thinking ahead and like you're saying, you're thinking bigger. How do I get this growing? Um, oh, and here's a little tip for anybody. I don't know if this is going to come out in time for Thanksgiving. It may not. I'll try. But on Thanksgiving Day, you can always have your journal for free. Say, hey, go to my journal for free. Be sure and leave a review once you purchase it, and that will help.
Yeah, and I was thinking about doing that with the ebook.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, definitely with the ebook.
Ebook to
Yeah,
go free on Thanksgiving, just to
yeah.
bless
I've
people
got
that
three of my books then. Yeah,
yeah, do three, like get the ebooks free and then because right now I did discount it as Black Friday, but yes, y'all, I was going to really think about doing that. Like, no, get the ebook, $0. That
yeah,
would be a
yeah,
sneak peek of what she's talking about. Oh wow, this
yeah,
is amazing, and just for that day, you have until midnight and it's
yeah.
going back
That's
to
right.
so
That's right. Yeah, and it really is a great way for people who want to find out about you, who want to find out where your heart is, and then they can follow you. They get the book, they see how amazing it is, and it's like, wow, this really is as good as she says it is. And
yes.
then they can follow you on Amazon. They can see when you've got your next book coming out, when you're doing something else with it, and learn more about you, and then follow your website or however they connect you. Where do people find you?
So they could find me on Facebook with my name, Melia Franklin, Melia Franklin. And then they can also go on my website, Millie Sweet Creations. The creations is with a K. So Millie, sweet, KREATIONS.com. So those are my handles. If people are on Instagram, my Instagram is MSK_HL_22. So there's many ways you can find me. You can even Google my company, Millie Sweet Creations, come up. I believe it's still on Google because I got excited when I said, "Oh wow, you can find me on Google." So you can find me
That
on
one.
Google, Millie Sweet Creations. Like that's exactly how you can find me because, like I said, I'm a diehard pastry chef. That's what I do. I love it. But now it's time for me to walk in my next purpose, which is being
Yes.
that for my community and creating my services to help the kids, to help the adults.
Yeah.
You never
Yeah.
know who's in need of what I'm offering.
That's so good. So are you looking at doing more continuing education, getting other certifications?
Yes, I am. I do have the adult mental health first aiders certification. So I'm gonna do the
Okay.
youth one. I'm gonna get the youth one
Nice.
as well. I'm currently in school doing culinary. That way I'm trying to get a building. I don't everybody's like, you should get a bakery. I don't want a bakery. I want a building to where I could offer free culinary and pastry classes for the youth so
Oh,
they can have
good.
nothing to do.
Good.
That way is more activities, keep them busy. So that's what I'm trying to get those credentials for. But I currently do have my associate's degree for pastry chef. So I feel
Nice.
good about that.
Nice. Yeah, I have a friend of mine who does that. She does a lot of baking and she's teaching kids all the time. Yeah,
Yeah,
so that's really great. Oh, I love that. Yay. More
yeah,
yummy shifts.
yes, yes. I'm working. I'm trying. I keep telling people, they're like, you're going to be on a plane 2025. You're going to be traveling. I'm like, I'm praying. Somebody book me. Look, book me. I
There you
promise
go.
I'm coming with
You and I
full
should
throttle
talk. I know
information.
people.
Yes, I come with full throttle information.
That's the only way to do it, isn't it? Just really go out and do it. Just take it,
Yes.
give it everything you've got and a little bit more if you can, and just keep going. Yeah, I mean, I can't believe how far I've come in 2.5 years. really it's just a little over 2 years of actually getting going on a business, trying to figure out what I want to do. It took me a lot of years to figure out what I want to be when I grow up. Now I'm enjoying it. I love it so
Right.
much. I really do. Yeah, yeah. Wonderful guests like yourself get to meet some of the best people. Just
Yeah,
and there's a lot of best people out there.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. I love that you're doing this. And so what are some of the most difficult things you've had to go through in doing this? Going from, well, besides being a teen mom, a single mom, I imagine for a while, but then going into a business that is really working on something so different from the bakery, from what you've done before. What were some of the struggles you had?
Um, It would be once I started this journey, I noticed that I'm going through more spiritual warfare than anything. So it's the small voices, people don't believe in that, but I do. It's the small voices
Yeah.
that will come and say, you not gonna be able to do this. It's times that, the enemy tried to take me out. Literally, March, I spoke to students in school, and then I was in the hospital because my throat shut on me, and he tried to shut me up. And
Hmm.
then I spoke another time, and then as soon as I got done speaking, I got sick out of nowhere and I couldn't talk. I didn't have a voice. I'm just like, okay, I get where we're going with this. The enemy is like really, trying to get me. And
Absolutely.
that's where the struggle comes in at, because now you know what it is, right? You know that you're going through that spiritual warfare because you are doing that journey now. So it's like you got to put that full armor on.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get through this without wanting to give up. And there's times that I'll be like, I'm not doing nothing. It's times that I had to call mom, like, Mom, I need you up here. Like, it's too much going on. My car did this, I went through that, this is going on, this is
Oh
going on.
man.
I
Yeah.
just give up. I was ready just to throw everything away. And then I'm like, I can't. I didn't come this far to just stop and
Yeah.
not do what I want to do. And that's help the youth. That's talk to the people. That's
Yeah.
help adults. What I
Yeah.
have to offer and what I'm talking about is a value to somebody. And I tell people all the time, my value of what I'm talking is may not be for you, but it might be for somebody else, or it
Yeah.
might go past you, but it might go to somebody else. That's why I always tell people networking is equaling your net worth. You never know who you're talking to or what they're in need of. And
Absolutely.
going through this journey, I'm not going to say, y'all, I don't like using the word hard. I really don't like using the word hard. I like to use the word challenging.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's very challenging because when you think you're going 10 times forward, it's like something coming be like 10 times back. And when you think you got the money for this, and then something coming and be like, I use the money for that. And
Yep.
then when you're full-time doing entrepreneur, you be like, okay, I need this money for this to do this, but then it'd be like, okay, enemy come and do that. So it's definitely a challenging journey, but I will never stop.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
will never
And that's
stop.
it.
I gotta
Yeah.
keep going because I know he's getting mad. The enemy's getting mad that I keep going. Like, he tried to attack my kids, and he tried to attack through my family. I'm like, oh, so you can't get me, but you know that if you go deeper into it, my kids mean something to me. My
Yeah.
family means to me. So you trying to take my energy off of what I'm trying to focus on so I could go ahead and put that energy on that. And I just be like, no, not today. Not today. Not today. Like every day I catch myself like, not today. And then sometimes I gotta get up and just dance on his head. Like I gotta keep going. I can't stop. Like the devil can't stop me. Like right now, I'm on a mission, and I've been saying this for the last couple of days. The way I'm about to end this year is the way that my 2025 is about to be, and it's about to end
Ah,
strong. In
yeah,
2025,
I like that. I like that.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
like it's all about how you train your mindset. You gotta
Yeah.
train your mindset, and you have to shift your mindset.
Yeah.
It's important. It's important. You have to shift your mindset if you want to be successful in life. And I'm not just talking entrepreneur, I'm just talking about successful, period. As
Oh
just
yeah. Yeah.
if you
And
wake up
successful
negative,
is not necessarily meaning money. Success is accomplishing what you have set out to do. Successful is saying, yes, I made it. I went through all of that. You tried to hold me back. You tried to take my voice away. You tried to block me by using these things I love so deeply and to stop me. And it's like, I kept going. I did it. I went forward. So it's like, look out, 2025, here I come.
Yeah, look, yep, 2025, here I come. I'm telling them, I'm coming full throttle. Like I have so many things lined up for 2025, and I'm just like, okay, I know what I have to tackle. So I have everything like written out in a
Good.
goal so I can know like, okay, I know that I'm great start this tour. I know I need to reach out to school start in January. So that's kind of on the high priority list, right? But then I
Yeah.
know before I start that tour, I got to get that teenagers workshop journal together. So when we do the tour, they got something to work with. And, asking God, all right, I don't know how I'm gonna get these copies of these journals, but you got me. The finance, I'm not worrying about the finance, it's gonna come, right? Then I just have it laid out and I'm just gonna go for whatever comes. I'm ready to knock out any obstacle.
Yeah. And you've got to be prepared for it. And the ones that you aren't prepared for, that's okay because you're going to learn from it. You're going to gain tools from those that's going to help you with the next one that's going to come up.
Yes.
Yeah, I love your attitude. I love this value that you're bringing to everybody. So good, so wonderful. Um, so you're talking about you've already got things going on. What are some things you've got lined up in 2025?
So as I announced, it's the tour starting here in the city with the schools. Also, I am currently working on an anthology that's coming, getting
Nice.
together, so that I can't wait till that gets completed and done. I am pushing more of my book on Amazon and getting the teenagers version
Good,
together,
good.
creating my services for people to, book me and have me as their mental first aider helper and get them through things. And I have like the package in play. So, you purchase this pack. I'm praying on it. I'm praying on it to see what God says. Like, should I offer just one package or two packages? To where as though it could be one is more in depth for them, and then the
Right?
other, more not as complex, but you'll be able to call me, get resources, and you'll have a library. So I'm praying on how I want to do my packaging for them, so whereas though it's going to be very beneficial and worth what they're paying for. So that's the things that I have coming.
Cool. Wow, that's a lot, but that's great. I love how it just kind of all flows together and just how it builds up on top of the other one. That is just amazing. It's kind of like, oh, I want to be on that, get on that bandwagon with you and just support you and cheer you on. And
Thank
I'll do
you.
that as much as I can. Absolutely. Wow, really good. So, what do your kids think about you doing this? Was that kind of a shock? It's like, oh, mom, don't get into our world. No, no.
Yeah, all right. So my kids, they're like my biggest cheerleaders. They are
Awesome.
there, especially when I'm baking. My son, he takes the cookies to school. He be selling the cookies. He be
All
selling
right.
at
There
school.
you go.
Like, I made X, Y, and Z. I'll be like, okay, you making money at school with the cookies. But they're inspired by me. I feel like I'm their example, showing them like, if this the
Good.
route that you want to take, if you want to be your own boss, you got that option. You right. I'm setting
Yeah.
up an empire for them. And they just be like, "Oh wow, mom, you're talking to the schools. Oh, are you gonna come to my school?" I'd be like, "I don't know. I might come to your school. You
Really
right? I might come, or my son run track, so I'm always at his track meets, right? And a
nice.
lot of people are like, "Oh my God, honey, if I see your mom," or some people be like, "I seen her on Instagram or something." Like so many people know me by Chef Mel or Coach Mel, and it's just like. But then my kids, they like my biggest cheerleaders. They are like super excited because they see what I go through. They see what I've been through. They've been there with me, especially my son. That's my teenage baby. And
Yeah.
he's been with me since I was a kid. And now
Oh,
fast forward, he's 17, right? So it's like
nice.
he'd have
Oh,
been through the wilderness in a while. And then I had my daughter, she been through the wilderness in a while. They done been through life with me and they see how far I came. And it's like,
yeah.
dang, I remember when mom was doing this and we didn't have that. And it was just like, now
That's
look at
that's really
mom,
awesome. You are such a
so
great example.
yes. And it's like, I have to keep going to let them know that there's no giving up. You
Yeah.
don't stop just because you feel like that obstacle was thrown at you. You must keep going. If
Yeah.
y'all want to be your own boss, you got that option. If you want to work, you got that option. There's nothing wrong with working or being your own boss, or you could do both.
Yeah.
You know, some
Isn't
people
that
out here got a nine
amazing?
to five and running their operation at the same time. So, you know, that they're like really my biggest cheerleader, and they're really one of my reasons why I gotta keep going. You know, then my baby boy who's 5, you know, I gotta keep going. He sees me now, he knows if he see me baking, he be like, Mom, so is the cake for a customer or the house? I'm like, it's the house. He's like, okay, can I get some? You know, so he's paying attention. You know, I have three
Yeah.
humans paying attention to me outside of the ones that I'm talking to that I don't know. So it starts with
Yeah.
them. Like you said earlier, you were sending your daughter the scriptures. I send my daughter motivational things, uplifting things
Oh,
to her in
good.
the morning. You know, good morning, Pooh. Have a blessed day. I pray you have a good day.
Oh,
And I send her some type of God blessing and all of that, you know, my son. And then sometimes I check on like, hey, how y'all day going? Y'all okay? You know, so what I'm doing with my kids, that's what I'm trying to do with other people, kids.
yeah.
And you know, so they are like super excited. They can't wait to see what comes my way. My son, he tells me all the time, like, Mom, next year is your year. And I was like, I said, okay, son. Well, your year is
Yeah.
next year too, because you graduating, like you going to
That's
college.
right. That's right. Every year is your year. It just keeps getting better every year. This is
Absolutely.
great. Oh, this is going to be so much fun watching you just soar. I love it. I'm glad I get to see
Yes,
you on this part so I can see you get to the other parts. Yeah.
yes. I go
And,
from
and
somebody small room to a big arena. I keep saying
yeah,
it. I don't know how it's gonna happen, but
you'll
God,
get there. You'll get there, definitely. Yeah, and I love it because they see that you're not quitting. They see the struggles you're going through, and it would be so easy to say, I just can't do this. It's too much for me. And you keep going and but you do. You look at them and you say, yeah, I can't quit. I can't quit. This is why I'm doing it. I've got a envelope ready to go to my grandson who's in the Navy. Just putting a whole
okay.
bunch of letters every day, write a letter, put it in the envelope.
Oh, that's
And we're
nice. Yeah,
just,
my little
yeah,
brother
well,
is with Navy. No,
yeah,
no, he's Air Force, Air Force.
okay, okay. Yeah, yeah, because when they're in boot camp, it takes them a while before they get the address to you. So I wanted to make sure I've got some encouragement there. But it's like things like that. It's like if I quit, then why would they continue on? They go, oh well, grandma quit, so I can quit too. And it's like, no, don't quit. It's kids are watching you all the time. Your family is watching you, your friends are watching, and not watching to see if you're going to fail, but they're watching to see how you get through each challenge that you go through,
Yep.
because that gives them strength to go through their challenges. And it's like, wow, she could do that. I had somebody say to me when I was in a toxic relationship, they said to me, wow, if you can keep going on, then I sure can. And I thought, oh, that's a nice compliment. But what I didn't really realize is what they were saying. If you're putting up with all of that crap and you're able to keep waking up every day, then I can. And it's like, oh, I didn't look at the negative side.
Right.
I
No, you
thought,
don't want to go through
well,
that. Right.
but it's like, well, that's in the past. I finally got smart. I finally found a way to not believe the lies. I found a way to not keep living in the fear of just all the crap that you're being told. And it's hard. And look at the teenagers that are being told so much crap. You have to look like this, you have to do this, you have to act like this, you have to be this, you've got to do this. Some of the stuff is good for them. It's like, yeah, you have to get up and go to school today. You can't just lay in bed all the time.
Right.
But it's developing good skills. Tony Robbins, I was in a webinar with him, and he said, do I like going out to the river every day and go swimming in it? No. So why do I do it? I do it for the mental discipline. I do it because once I've conquered that, then I can conquer something else. And it's like, and I have the little sign on, I put a little sticky
Yep.
note on my door that says I do it for the mental discipline. And
Yes.
and I see that every day. And so it's like you have to keep going. You can't, it's okay to take a pause. It's like, I just need my body to rest. Leave me alone for a minute.
Yes.
It's like, okay, do that. Take that pause. Pause is not a stop. A pause is a pause because sometimes you need to step back and see how everything's going, see what is going right, what isn't going right. So if you just keep going and keep going and keep going and don't ever have anything to check on it, don't ever have any way to measure what you're doing, then you may be clear out in some rabbit hole, clear far away, and where you really need to be is right here on this path. And so don't ever think that a pause is a stop and that you're starting over again. Well, you're not. You're starting with what's going to make you go further.
Yes,
So, yeah. So,
absolutely.
do you have last closing thoughts for us?
So I would like to say, to piggy off of that, yes, it's okay to break, it's okay to pause, it's okay to stop. But one thing I always tell people, never give up. You
Yeah,
know, you can restart as many times as you like. You can
that's
reboot
right.
many times as you like. You can restart the business anytime you like. But one thing you never do is just give up on it,
Yeah,
because if you restart it, right? You think about it like this. If I was to stop with that journal, I'm gonna use the journal because that's a great example. If I was to stick with this thin little book and I sent out the ebook and I asked for the demo and something said, don't put it on Amazon yet, right? I stopped because once I got it, I was like, no, it gotta be something bigger and better for them. Do not publish this to Amazon just yet. So guess what I did? I paused. I stopped, prayed on it. I asked, okay, but then I heard the voice say, do it over, make it bigger, make it better. And I didn't get no, I got about 2 sales with the first version of the ebook to now I done redid it. I done published it. I done put it on Amazon. I done got multiple sales with it now. And people are on it getting the ebook now. I'm getting more exposure now with it to all because I didn't give up on it. I didn't say I'm not doing it. I just paused and reset and rebranded it into now look at me. So I say that to say you reset and you rebrand yourself. That might be your $1 million opportunity. And I'm not saying $1 million physically. I'm just saying a
yeah,
million opportunity that's going to come your way because you done reset yourself. Sometimes you got to reset yourself. It's called recalibration. Like if you got to do a print or something, you got to
yeah.
recalibrate.
That's right. That's right. You have
Okay,
your
to
cards. Every once in a while, you got to give them a tune up and redo stuff.
gotta redo it. So just treat your body like that. Treat it as if it's a car. You need to tune yourself back up. You need to,
Yeah.
sit back and reflect. Dang, what
Yeah.
is it I didn't do that I need to do now? Okay, I didn't follow this blueprint, but I'm gonna follow it now. Let's see what I get out of it.
There
So
you
just
go.
don't ever give up. Keep
Yeah.
going, keep pushing because you never know when your $1 million opportunity is gonna come.
That's right. That's right. So we've got your book on Amazon. Tell us your website again where people get a hold of you.
Yes, Millie Sweet Creations. And like I said, it is with a K. So Millie Sweet Kreations.com. And you can look me up on Google too. Millie Sweet Creations. It should come up for you. So
Awesome.
I'm so excited. This was a great, great opportunity call for me. And I hope that I helped somebody today. I hope I
Oh,
encouraged
yeah. I'm sure you did.
somebody today.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much for being on my show. This was such a
Yes.
blessing to me, and I'm sure it is to others. And be sure and join us next time on Wisdom on the Front Porch.
Thank you for joining us today on Wisdom on the Front Porch with your host, Ellis Kirkpatrick. You can find us on our website, wisdomonthefrontporch.com, see previous episodes of the podcast, and view issues of the magazine. Did you know you can submit questions, leave reviews, or suggest topics? You can also tell us where your favorite front porch location is and what it means to you. We hope you gain value and insight from today's or previous talks. We appreciate your support for us so we can continue to provide value and expertise to you and others. Subscribe to Wisdom on the Front Porch magazine and receive a second year absolutely free. This is a limited time offer available exclusively to those who mention the name of today's podcast. Join in next week when we bring you another great insight into the world of entrepreneur culture and lifestyle. Make today a great day. Always believe that something wonderful is going to happen.